You already know how I'm starting this video out, right? Like y'all already know how I'm starting this video out. Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe! Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe! Listen, they won. We're here for it. They got to 10 games. I can leave that joke alone. I still got my $25. Man's just trying to haggle me down to 20, but I remember it was 25, but that's neither here nor there. But welcome back to Nets Republic. Yes, Nets Republic. Yes, Nets Republic. I'm your host, Seth Bond. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we are really close to 900. We're trying to get to 900 before the end of the year, so please tell a Nets fan to subscribe to the channel and such. Yeah. And if you want to get some Nets Republic merch like moi, you can go to dopejerseys.com or go to netsrepublic.com and hit the shop button and pick you up some swiggity swag if you want. I personally find it very cringy when companies call things swag, but by all means, go pick up said swag. But that's neither here nor there. Now today on Kids Night, which is afternoon, on Kids Afternoon, we went up against the Portland Trailblazers with no Damian Lillard. And with our past history of going up against teams without their stars, I was equally as concerned. And I say concerned very lightly, simply as a lack of another term, because I'm not concerned. I am representing the church of not only James Harden, but I'm representing the church of Blow It Up. And at the church of Blow It Up, we don't get stressed by what the Nets do this year. The Nets can, let me quote Jay-Z, the Nets can go 0-82. I look at that job like it's gravy. Like, I do not care. This year, they cannot harm me, whatever they do. So when they win a game, it's a pleasant surprise. When they lose a game, it is what it is. But that's neither here nor there. So myself and everyone else in the congregation of the church of Blow It Up, we're not fazed by any of this. When the game looked like it was a seesaw affair and it was going back and forth and there was a slight chance that we might lose, I and the other believers were not amongst the masses of masses who were concerned. Not in the slightest. Because I look at everything I saw and I saw it in a different way. Because again, I'm on a different plateau. When I looked upon this game and I saw the performance from Seth Curry, which we have already stated on multiple occasions, he should really be starting if we're keeping it all the way at being, have Ben Simmons continue to come off the bench and just have Seth Curry start, but that's neither here nor there. You already got Kyrie Irving, but that's again neither here nor there. The performance that man put on simply alerted me to the fact of imagine what we can get for Joe Harris. That is what this performance showed upon me. Imagine what we can get for Joe Harris. Because we already got the three-point marksman in Seth Curry. We already know Royce O'Neal can spray with the best of them as well. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. That's a whole starting lineup's worth. Like we goody. TJ Warren. Reverend T.D. Jakes is supposed to be coming back on Friday. That's another three-point threat. That is an entire starting lineup of individuals who can hit the three. I don't think anyone's going to miss Joey. Joey is a gigantic, bloated, inflated contract that needs to be shipped away. And at the end of the game, when everyone was giving each other the daps and the high fives and the huggles and such, I was brought back to a simpler time. Back in the superteam era, where you used to see the Nets players congregate with other star players and you would start to stroke your beard and you would say to yourself, is that a possible pickup I see there? You remember those days where we would play another team and their star player would get slapped around by us and we would start to get the photoshops ready of, well, who are we going to get next? This was back during the sweepstake era of when we got Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge and James Harden and all that. And we used to look upon other teams and be like, well, who are we going to snatch up next? Who is Sean Marks and them going to snatch up now? I started to get flashbacks to that when Kyrie Irving was congregating with Mr. Damian Lillard. Remember when we used to be looking at Damian Lillard like, is he finna join us next? If we're talking about big contract people, the amount of just cash and contracts we can shred to get even more assassins, we're still that team. We're still that girl. We're still that girl. The days have not ended. We're just in a different mindset for some reason. You trade Ben Simmons and you get back a Damian. Now, again, I'm not saying that that's possible. I'm just saying, remember when we used to be on that train of thought of who can we flip to get what? Remember that train of thought? Just praying on a team that ain't doing nothing and saying, well, you don't need that, pluckety pluck. Oh, well, you don't need that, pluckety pluck. Remember those days? Looking off at the distance at a Jeremy Grant and saying, well, he ain't doing nothing over here. Imagine what he would do in a Nets jersey. Remember those days? I remember them fondly. The trade machine had nothing on us. We was just scooping folks up. That was back in the good old days. But unfortunately, the tones have changed. The ships have changed and the league has changed a little bit. The league is a little bit more balanced and other teams are a little bit more stingy with their stars and they're not willing to just give them over to either the Lakers or the Nets any longer. There's been a little bit of a seismic shift, if you will. But the team we have as constructed is cool. My mouth waters whenever I think of the possibilities of how it is that we can improve it. And again, the three-point shooting thing, I feel like is good. I don't think we need more shooting. And if Joe Harris is not able to hit a shot, I don't understand what he's really giving us. And it's cool when he hits a shot. And I know there's a lot of nostalgia around Joey Headband, but I seem to not be of the minority of people who are in the thinking of, if we're talking about historic players that really meant something from that particular era, they're all gone. Your Spencer Dinwiddies are gone. Well, I didn't like Spencer, but y'all did. Your Spencer Dinwiddies are gone. Your Jared Allens are gone. Your Karis, all hail Karis LeVert. Your Karis LeVerts are gone. D'Lo is never coming back. Like, you feel me? That specific generation or iteration of the Nets is gone. And I feel like the one sole survivor, people aren't exactly digging their heels in the dirt to keep him around. I thought it was a hot take to say get rid of Joe Harris, but as I've seen, other people seem to be of the same train of thought. And all I can do is think about, with all the glaring issues that we have, you just got Nurkic down there just beating us up, doing whatever he wants. Just V-triggers and GTSs everywhere, super kick parties. It's too much. It's too much. And knowing we got a big old contract and Joe Harris not doing nothing, we could ship him away and the situation would handle itself. The situation would handle itself. I don't mean to be an armchair GM, but I'm gonna. I feel like I need to be. Now, they won the game. They won it through teamwork. They won it through buying in and not doing the whole hero ball thing, really moving the ball around. And the beneficiary of that, did I say that right the first time? I think I did. And the beneficiary of that was Seth Curry tonight. Normally, that's what we would expect from Joe Harris. And during this whole Super Team 7-Eleven era, this is the type of performance that we've been waiting to see from Joe Harris. It unfortunately has never come to fruition because of the injuries, but we're seeing it from Seth Curry. So it's cool to see that. Everyone's moving the ball. When you try to double Kevin Durant, they swing it over to Kyrie. You switch it over to Kyrie. We've talked about this a million times. There's only a certain amount of people on the court. So when you double twice, that leaves one defender left. Make one more pass over to a wide open Seth Curry. It's done. It's a guaranteed bucket. He ain't missing that. Seth Curry was on fire so much that he was lighting folks up off the jab step. When you see that man come to life like that, hitting folks off the jab step, that ankle must be feeling wonderful, or whatever it is he injured in the lower regions or whatever. Must be feeling amazing because that man was on fire. That man was like a Lil Wayne Rebirth single. He was on fire. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. That man was on fire, but that's not here nor there. I thought Claxton played well. Almost got into a little bit of foul trouble, but I thought Claxton played well. Ben Simmons, even though he only scored 2 points, I feel like he played well overall. His defense was there. He had a good bit of rebounds. I believe 14 or some crazy stuff like that. And a good bit of assists as well. Would have had more if Joe Harris was able to hit a 3. So I thought Ben played fine. That's all we're asking from him. But with Ben Simmons, I don't see what it is that he's doing that can't be replaced by an active center. I understand he plays defense. I understand he's a cool point guard, and I get the utility stuff he does. Totally get it. But can that not be replaced with a more mobile center or some more size? Again, I'm thinking of the mentality of getting us back to championship standings. You feel me? We don't have to stick with this. If you flip Ben Simmons for just a collection of dope pieces, I don't feel like there's anything he's doing that's irreplaceable. Like replacing Kyrie Irving, that's difficult. Replacing Kevin Durant, that's difficult. But Ben Simmons, what is he doing that's so, and I know here comes the Ben Hive. Here comes the Ben Hive. He's been playing so great, and because of the defense, you see Anthony Simons, and oh my God, he's been so great, oh my God, he's been so great. I get it. His contributions go much further than a box score. I get that. I'm the king of the eye test. I got you. No one's arguing with you on that. What I am saying is strictly in the spirits of Team Blow It Up, all hope is not gone. All hope is not gone. With Ben Simmons playing well again, that trade value just shot up again. It's possible for us to get back to contention. We can get back to where we were. We don't have to just be the cute little good team that loses a game, that wins a game and then loses two, then wins a game and loses two. We don't have to be on that crash course set for the play-in. We don't have to be like that. We can get back to where we were. And I truly believe we can make it happen. With a big name like Ben Simmons, huge contracts like Joe Harris, we can get right back there. And maybe an assortment of role players that are just a bunch of dudes with dogs in them, who knows? Maybe that's enough to get us there. Or maybe just one more piece to complete the big three. Who knows? But you got options again. Again, the league does not know Joe Harris is trash. Only we do. That's Nets world chatter and fodder. Everyone seems to love Ben Simmons. It's possible. Because if we stay the course, I guarantee you this team is mid. This is just an adorable little tank engine making its way downtown. It's like, let's use Thomas the Tank Engine as an example. Right now, the currently constructed Nets is Percy. Percy will never be the star of the show. They call it Thomas the Tank Engine for a reason. Percy will never be the star of the show. Not James, not Henry, none of them. It's just not going to happen. You feel me? It's always going to be a Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy thing. You want to get back to where we were? Come on now. Get the sleeves on and then. You feel me? Keep that V1 stuff at home. But y'all want to keep being Matt Hardy? Go ahead. Max, you'll get the Woken stuff. And there's a bunch of people who are not getting the references I'm making, but that's fine. What I'm trying to say is we can keep being this adorable, cute team, or you can do something and continue to clean house and get back to this position that the Nets organization seems to still think we're in. But again, I am so strongly Team Blow It Up. That's just where I sit. Because how the Nets have been playing, we can mess around and lose to the Magic tomorrow. And who's on the Magic? Because that's just the type of team we are. I don't want everyone to be on their Abel Tesfaye and be blinded by the lights. I don't want this dub, this great feel-good win on a random Saturday, to blur your perspective of where the team is. I don't want you to get distracted. Don't let this little measly win over a Damian Lillard-less Trailblazers that we barely won to cloud your judgment of who we are. Don't let it cloud the judgment. Remember who we are. Now, I will say this, which is the same thing I say after every win that has us feeling positive, putting our chest out a little bit. I'm here to be wrong. I have not this season, but I am here to be wrong. If this is the start of something new, no High School Musical, if this is the turn of the corner, if this is that game where everyone said we are united, this is who we are the Brooklyn Nets, and we're going to bounce back, then I'm here to be wrong. But for the last 2 months, that has not been the case. Month, that has not been the case. And I'm not going to fall for the shenanigans. I say we continue. We got the ball rolling by getting rid of Steve Nash. Now finish the job. Or we can just dwindle in mediocrity and just be a cool team that gets bounced in the first round. If we make it to the playoffs. Because again, this is just one win. We are 10-11. Not even 500 yet. I will give them the fact that we got to 10 wins. I'll give them that. Almost lost $25 over it. But we're still 10-11. Don't let them fool you. That's all Seth the Bond has to say. Don't let them fool you. But hey, we won. Hey, we won. So let's I guess just be happy about that. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm your host, Seth the Bond. You're on Nets Republic. If it feels like Seven Man's being a little more negative than usual, it's because I've seen this movie before. But if you want a more positive Sever, go back on last year's videos and see me preach a championship until the bitter end. But this year, I have to be realistic. I can't do this back and forth of we win one game and it's like, oh, well, we are going to turn it around. And yeah, Watanabe's coming back and all that. Like, yeah, I get you, but I'm not going for the head fake until they prove it. So let them prove it. Yeah.